Hey everybody, it's Mr. Brooks, and I am making a video to give some guidance on the giving raises task, which is one of my favorites. And with this task, this is really more about thinking and explaining and reasoning more than getting in an equation and solving. Okay. So your answers here are going to be much more in the written sentence form and the thinking form. So let me go through the questions, okay? What are some variables you should consider when you're thinking about how to give raises? Okay, so that's another way of saying that is like if you were to give someone a raise, but you had to decide how much, what are things that you should consider? Or what would cause someone to be considered for a raise? You know, or if you were going to give your raise to 5 different employees, what would differentiate those 5 employees? And you might have had a job, you might have had an older sibling that has a job, and you might even ask your parents, like, have you got a raise? What caused you to get the raise? What causes other people at your work to get raises? The letter B says describe mathematically different methods to distribute the raise. Okay, so there's kind of a description, and think about it. We've only had 4 operators, right? We've had subtraction, addition, multiplication, division. So I mean those are what you can use, and you can use them in combinations, um or substitutive forms where you substitute one for the other. um but think about, like, if you had to split up $10,000 for 5 employees, how would you do it? And you can also think back to where we did the first task with purchases and percentages. So you can use that if you want. What information do you need to compute the raises for each employee? This admittedly is going to be a little bit redundant. Um, but if you were to find some variables, think back to A with what variables you use to assign raises. What information would you need there to give the to compute the raises? Okay. And again, it's going to be words, and it's going to be just your thoughts. Okay, and we're going to go over um, all of our thoughts together in class. All right. Make up information you need to compute specific raises for 2 different methods. This is just like letter B. Okay, so letter B is using words to describe ways you could, and letter D is your attempt to try to put numbers to that description. Okay, now this is not necessarily the easiest, but if you have 5 employees, tell me how you would divvy up that $100,000 and show me mathematically how it makes sense. Okay, and that this might be hard. Okay, so don't if you don't get it, don't worry. We're gonna go over it, and this you'll resubmit it. Okay, so I don't want you to spend an hour on this task. I don't want you to spend an hour on this task. This task should take no more than 25 minutes. Right? Choose one method that you think is most fair. This is the thing I want you to talk about. If we're going to give raises, there's different methods we could use to give raises. There's different variables we can consider. And I want you to try to defend what's fair. Because, if you were the boss, you had to give out raises, you would probably want to do it in a way that is fair. So, if we have different options, tell me what's the most fair. Okay. And then E really is where I'm gonna, like, letter E with that description of fairness and your justification. That is really what I'm going to be most focused on reading. Okay. All right. So hopefully that helps. With these, you'll need to, expand them out a little bit. I don't know why A didn't go there. So there you go. So, you'll have to expand it out in order to type, or you can do it on a separate sheet of paper and take a picture. That's fine too. Okay.